Day 463. So today I still felt fairly lazy. Didn't want to do anything this morning. Barely got to bed. Did a little bit of work in the kitchen just to say I've done stuff. I mean, what ends up happening is I'm kind of a whirlwind in the kitchen because I'm doing a ton of stuff from scratch and I'm doing a ton of stuff that just requires a lot of, dishes. And even when I do some kind of consolidation stuff, it still ends up where I have a decent amount of dishes, like 2 or 3 loads. Because I also get to the point where, Thursday or Friday, I don't really want to do dishes. Or the fourth or the fifth day, I don't really want to do dishes. So I have those days worth of dishes. But either way, I finished those up technically the day before yesterday. I just haven't put them away. So they're currently sitting in my dishwasher. Um, but then I also did some cleaning countertops and that type of stuff. And then I didn't really feel like doing anything, so I sat around until the last possible minute before the sun would set on me, and I went out and did my lawn mowing and some tree trimming. And so not everything that I plan on doing outside. I'll have at least one more day of outside activity this coming week, and I still have to finish painting. But the majority of stuff got done, just kind of like the trimming and that type of thing. So tomorrow I do plan on going hiking. I've got a pass to go to Pinderknowle Falls. I'm not going to do the 11-mile loop. There is a 6-mile, if I remember correctly. It's kind of in the sun, but it doesn't really matter right now. We're in the 60s, 70s, high at 80 right now. So I'm really happy with this weather. Hopefully it stays around for a little while longer. But either way, I'm kind of happy that so next week, right, I'm eating next weekend. The weekend after, I am not eating, which is great because that is Memorial Day, which is when a ton of people are going to be out and doing things and traveling to the parks. All the parks are pretty much booked. I went ahead and looked. I'm actually trying to book for the weekend after that, and that seems to be semi-booked as well, which is unfortunate because that's one of the days that I do need. But either way, right, I've gotten to a point where I need to check that every week because there are, it's by reservation only, and they've cut down the number of people who can go into these parks. And so you really do have to reserve them a month out at this point because everyone knows you have to reserve them if they're going to the parks on a regular basis. Even if you have one of the annual passes, you still have to go in and reserve. And they've cut down the percentage to be, I want to say a fourth or a third of what is actually their normal limit, which I think is a little unfortunate. I mean, I understand why, at least in the areas where, beaches or waterfronts are concerned, or there's, a specific place that everyone tends to go to. But, when I go on these trails in the state parks, even prior to COVID and during COVID, I notice less people on those, park trails than I do at, the local Austin ones. And so I feel like it's a burden to put on that reduced number to such a degree. I mean, we're talking about a place that normally accepts 300 people in the morning, 300 cars in the morning, is accepting 50, right? So yes, it does mean that there's less people there, but if you can close off the attractions, right? The attractions, the sightseeing and the beaches and waterfronts, you're left with the hiking trails and the biking trails and the horseback riding trails. And as long as people are going to do that, or, even if they are going to a waterfront, if it's put a boat in, why not? Because, that will enhance the social distancing while also getting people out and getting them, the fresh air and just their minds off of, having to be sheltered in place. So, and unfortunately, you can't go on there and be like, well, I'm going to go hiking, right? Or they haven't blocked those places off. They just have limited the amount of people. So, it's all how things are run, and that's up to the individual park and the state parks. So we'll see how all that goes. Right now I'll prep for tomorrow, and that's how I'll go from there.